Archbishop Fulton Sheen once said, "There was never a preacher like the dying Christ. There was never a congregation like that which gathered about the pulpit of the cross. There was never a sermon like the 7 last words."
When Jesus saw his mother, and the disciple was there whom he loved, he said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Behold your mother." And from that hour, the disciple took her into his home. My name is Ryan Patrick Mahar. I'm studying for the priesthood for the Diocese of Sacramento. My family lives in Grass Valley. It's between Sacramento and Tahoe. Before I entered seminary, I was ranching in Wyoming. And before that, I was studying at Franciscan University of Steubenville. Father Benedict Rochelle, a Franciscan friar in New York, once said that every good, holy Irishman has a secret, a prayer secret. And I thought that most secrets are, specifically on the spiritual matter, need to be revealed to show how we can grow together. And so I thought I would share with you some of my findings, my discoveries. When I was a kid, I would run to my mother and I would hold her leg because I was afraid. And my mother would do whatever she could to secure me, to comfort me. And I often think that as a grown man, I typically don't do that now. But if Christ's words are sincere and are true, then why wouldn't I run to my mother, the Blessed Virgin? And so that's my safe spot that I go to. When I struggle in life, I run to Our Lady, and I grab her leg, and I hold on, and I let the folds of her mantle, the folds of her dress surround me to secure me, like a comfort blanket, a security blanket. And I stop and I freeze, terrified of the world that's going on around me. Too afraid to look, too afraid to hear. All I do is I run to my mother. During a procession here at the seminary of Our Lady of Fatima, we had a walking rosary around the front of the seminary. And we had a platform with a statue of Our Lady of Fatima on top, covered with roses, absolutely beautiful. And on the platform was a skirt. And I'm a tall guy, so I was called to volunteer to carry Our Lady, which is something I would have done at a drop of a coin. And so we're walking around, we're processing, praying the rosary around the parking lot, and the statue's getting really heavy, though I would never say that to Our Lady. And it was one of those weeks where life was tough. Every day just kind of built on the next day of struggles and temptations and problems. And as we're walking on the 4th decade, we come around and it's in the fall, so it's a cold day as well. And we're in the shadows. And as we're coming around, I'm feeling pretty sad about myself. And I realized that I need to offer it up and give it to Our Lady. So as we're coming around, the sun broke through the clouds and the wind picked up. And the wind picked up the skirt of the platform and it wrapped around my face. And it was at that moment that I realized how much Our Lady loves me, how the sun was her son, and the wind was the Holy Spirit. And I allowed myself to participate. You know, some people might think that it was by chance or randomness. But for me, it was the loving touch of Our Lady's hand to tell me everything's going to be okay. And immediately following, that statue just got a little bit lighter. And so did my problems. So I have to say that if we allow ourselves to be loved and to give it to Our Lady, wonders will take place and peace will follow. And it's in that secure leg that I stop and I close my eyes and I let the folds of her dress surround me. And I let her take care of all the monsters, of all my problems. And when I'm ready, when she allows me, I open my eyes and I am there at Calvary. And I'm able to look up and I see Christ on the cross. And sometimes I feel ashamed that I should be comforting Our Lady at that hour. But I stop and I let her comfort me. My greatest part of the movie, The Passion of the Christ, is when Mary Magdalene ran to Our Lady during the scourging, and she ran to Our Lady, and Our Lady held her. And you would think that it would be our job to hold Our Lady, especially at that hour. But Our Lady put all of her feelings and all of her emotions away to take care of her children, like a good mother. And so that's where I go. I allow her to comfort me, because I'm weak and I'm terrified. But with her comfort, with her love, I can gaze upon her Son. And it is in her Son that I find the meaning to my struggles. And it's through her touch that I find the comfort of His grace. That's it.